Hello and welcome to Mostly Minnesota Music Podcast Edition. I'm Ann Tracy and I'm here with my co-host,
Heather Baker.
We're excited because for Christmas we have a family duo, Chris Holm and Jamie Holm. Welcome.
Hi, thank you.
Yeah, we're excited to talk to you, and I think I'm going to kind of just jump in because Chris, you play with. I'm going to ask you who you play. You play with so many people in town. I know I've seen you with the Fanning Frogs. I used to for the floor, but why don't you tell us who all? You see if you can keep track.
Well, currently I don't play with anybody because nobody's plays with anyone right now. But been recording music with a lot of different people right now. Working on some Fanning Frog stuff. So we got a bunch. We got a whole album in the works for that right now, but Amanda doesn't have the ability to record vocals right now, so that's kind of getting its way along. I'm gonna try and figure out a way to get her hooked up for that after the new year. But the Loonies, I'm working on stuff with that, and I think that I might actually be talking to you guys again pretty soon with that, possibly.
Exciting.
Let's see. There's a Minneapolis songwriter, Dan Tans, that I started writing songs and recording with, and another one, Ted Hanashevitz.
I have practiced that, and I look for opportunities. Throw it out there.
Right correctly. I don't know. I can say it fine whenever I'm not thinking about it.
Oh, believe me.
But yeah, we started writing some songs together. Actually, the project that was the inspiration for this project we're going to talk about was how I sort of met Ted, although I've never actually met him in person. We kind of got assigned to work on a song together on that, so we wrote a song together and then we're like, oh, this has actually worked out pretty good. Let's do some more songs. So
yeah. And now for folks who are listening, that was for part of the Quarantine Dream, which was a CD and a fundraiser for Just a Okay for Gambler's Daughter.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep. And actually, when we were doing that album, that was right when she got diagnosed. It was like right when I had started working on that. So then I hit up Ted and Ryan, who kind of ran that, and I was like, would you guys be interested in doing another one? And we talked about it a little bit, but they were kind of really busy with that. And then I was like, after that, I kind of just decided to take a little different route with it, but was inspired by that project though.
Oh, sorry, Ann.
No, go ahead, Heather.
What was the different route that you took with your project, I guess?
Well, I had like a bunch of old songs that Jamie had written, just like stuff that we had worked on together and stuff. And I was like, well, for the other one, everyone just wrote a song that, or brought in a song they already had. And I was like, and I just thought, it'd be really cool. And the other thing was I wasn't really that worried about making money off this project. I was just more like, I'm trying to do something that'll lift her spirits when she's going through chemo. And I was like, I think that she would think it's really cool if like friends and fellow musicians would record her songs and do versions of them. And so I asked people, they're like, would you be down to do this? But would you be able to, do a cover of a song that Jamie wrote? And the response has been fantastic. So
yeah, and I've never really heard of any project like that. I thought it was super cool, like being able to hear other people's ideas. Like I don't even know what he sent out, so I'm like, what like other random files did you find that you sent out to everybody? It was pretty cool though, because I mean, all of them that I've heard have been awesome. So
that's some sibling trust. If one of my siblings said, hey, I'm going to send some out.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's why I didn't ask. I just did.
Yeah, I wasn't aware of it until it was too late. So it's easier to, it's easier to ask for forgiveness than to ask for permission.
Oh, every time. Every time. So Jamie, tell us a little bit about your story.
Musically?
Well, yeah, the whole.
Right now. Well, the first band I was in was with Chris, and we moved out to California. And so us, and then someone that we met at it was an open mic, right? Open mic. Kind of had been playing out there in California, so that got us going. And I've been in another band here that was like a 5-person all-girl band, Sick of Sarah.
Okay.
Well, that was kind of the majority of my time playing out was with that band. And yeah, that I think I quit about 5 years ago, maybe
I was gonna
6.
say that name is familiar.
Yeah, we did a lot of touring and stuff and played
Okay.
many shows in Minneapolis. So, but that band no longer exists. We're actually going to be doing a reunion show this summer. So that'll be exciting. And other than that, I've just been working on, I've written with a lot of different people, just, doing, stuff over online or stuff that I had from like a long time ago. I've been listening to it and kind of going over everything and just working on songs. So yeah, that's what I've been doing lately.
That's fantastic. And then as Chris sort of alluded to, you were diagnosed with cancer last spring.
It was Easter.
I was gonna say.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. And then that's when you kind of came up with the idea for the album.
Yep.
All right. And the album is coming out in this kind of a year from the date. It's kind of coming out early spring, or
That's kind of the hope. I mean, it's sort of because everyone's kind of dealing with what's going on in the world. I'm like not really feeling like pushing anyone to get anything done or setting a hard deadline on anyone's. And people are still coming up and being like, hey, is there any songs left I could do? So, I mean, I think just in the last couple weeks, we got one more person on board that said they're going to do something. So I just put a couple out just to kind of, as I came in, to kind of say, hey, we are actually working on this. And I think that probably spring is target right now.
nice.
Got another person working on some artwork for it, like, and I'm like, I'm not going to ask her to hurry things up here. It's like, take your time. We're all dealing with what's going on in the world. So
Yeah, a lot of stuff is pushed back and everyone's trying to just figure everything out in the world. So
I think our concept of time now is so different.
yeah.
it is definitely very different right now.
I was just talking to, I have 2 daughters who go to school in Canada, and they're amazed at the situation in America with COVID as compared to up in Canada. But she was just sort of saying, I just don't understand why fans can't just pause for a while. I thought, well, that's wow, for a 22-year-old to say that,
Mm-hmm.
that's, do you guys feel, I mean, and what a strange time to be diagnosed with cancer. Do you feel like this has been a big pause for you guys? I know you guys have been busy, don't get me wrong, but do you feel like this has been a time to pause, or do you feel like this is a time to generate?
Well, for me, I had just had a baby too. So
Oh,
I
man.
went, and this year's been crazy. Like I went from, it's my first kid too. So I had a baby, and then he was 3 months old. I got diagnosed, and then it was pandemic, like right in a row. So yeah, I've just been kind of trying to relax as much as possible as what I'm supposed to be doing, per my doctors and stuff even. So, I mean, thankfully I have the help of our mom with the baby. And so it's been pretty good, but yeah, it is weird. It's definitely different.
Well, I can only imagine. I mean, having a baby is kind of like being hit with a Mack truck in terms of the life change anyways.
Yeah.
I think every parent kind of goes through, you get home from the hospital and you're like, well, where's the user's manual?
Right, exactly. Yeah. So that to have that be, on top of the pandemic, it's like, I don't want my kid to not be adjusted to anything social either. So that's been a difficult thing for me. I don't want my child to be scared of everything. And so that's like something I had to be mindful of too, not to be too isolated for that sake.
Well, it's funny because I have a million questions now, because I've talked about, I have 3 kids and the youngest one is 16. So well beyond, I have different worries about them and the COVID, and all of that sort of thing. But I've talked with people about how strange it must be for babies to always see people with masks outside the house. I mean,
right.
and it's hard to, I mean, it's hard to, because you know what you know, like you, either your kid has always seen people with masks outside the house or not, but I just think what a strange time to be a baby.
Right. Like they'll grow up with that in their head that when you're out of the house, that's how it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I just think, well, they must be able to see you smile with the eyes. I mean, you know how if you walk by someone, you can kind of tell if they're
Right.
smiling.
Yeah. It's weird how you just automatically smile even though you're wearing your mask.
Yep, can't see it anyway.
It's like, otherwise it just looks like I'm staring at people all the time. I don't know. I'm like, no, I'm smiling, really.
Really, smizing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that, I mean, what an unusual year for you on top of everything else. Just
Yeah.
doing that.
Intense
So then,
stuff.
yeah, the music really kind of gave you something. Is it something to focus on?
Mhm.
Now, are you guys in a position to tell us some of the people that are participating?
Well, we already got songs from, well, one was our cousin who lives in LA, and her husband, who they're musicians kind of, but they did a song. Around here, let's see.
Another Holm.
Another Holm, yep, another Holm. And
A Holm and Holmes.
Yeah.
She's Holmes, he's Holmes, and they kept their names. So
Oh, really?
gives
Yep.
people even more.
her husband is Chris Holmes. So, and he told me, he's like, yeah, my name actually would be Chris Holm too, except my family just got tired of everyone saying Holmes anyway, so they changed our name. So we changed our name.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, everyone calls it Holmes.
Yeah, they just call us
So.
Holmes anyway. So, let's see, who else did we put one out from already? I haven't released something yet. My mom's chiming in from
She
the back.
wants in on the interview.
Oh.
and everything.
Let's see.
She was singing earlier. Did you hear it?
I could hear somebody. Yeah, just widen out that lens. We could have all of you.
Yep. Let's see. Boy, I'm just having a brain cramp. Well, Ted and Ryan Rude both did a song together.
Nice.
And let's see, Ryan Sutter, who's a local musician in
Yep.
two bands, he did one. Who's the other one that I put out? Oh yeah, friend David Stone, who
Be helpful. Let's get
yeah,
her
it's
in
a
here.
good thing mom's listening there. My friend
She's telling us about
Just move
it.
the camera. I'm just gonna talk to your mom now.
Yeah.
Have to think of songs for their mom. Or where's the questions? For the mom.
Are you still
But yeah.
looking? Are you still looking for people to hop on to, or do
if
you
they
have
want to, I
it?
mean,
Yeah.
yeah, if there's people that want to, still definitely can have more people on board if they want to. But yeah,
And they just contact you is how,
yep, send me a
or
message.
your mom?
Or Jamie or
The
mom.
more the merrier. Yeah.
Just look up the homes and you'll find somebody that will guide you to
Yep.
you, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Trying to think of who. Well, my friend David Stone, who I do a lot of music with already, and play in a band with sometimes with. He did a cover right away early on, and he liked it so much, his version, that he put it on his own album. He was like, I like this. Can I put it on my own album? I was like, yeah, go for it. So he released an album this summer with a cover of a Jamie song on it.
I mean, there's so much I've constantly written, throughout the years. So it's like I have so many parts of songs. Like my old drummer from the band Sick of Sarah, she's doing a song and it only had one verse for a million years. And so I just asked her if she would write the verse and just finish the song. So stuff like that too, where I've had this incomplete stuff and the other person can come in and finish it. Because you can being a songwriter, you can just get stuck on songs and they never get finished, so it's nice to actually have someone come in and get some of the old stuff like out there so it's not just buried.
Yeah, that was actually another reason to do this project, was that she's probably not going to get to record all this stuff, and I'm not going to get to all these songs myself, and they're just probably going to disappear. And she's got a new baby, and like, I want him to be able to hear these songs someday. So maybe if somebody else records them, that'd be another way to get some of that music out there for him to be able to listen to later in life.
Mm-hmm.
That
so it doesn't get lost
doesn't get
forever.
lost, doesn't get forgotten.
how do you decide what to send to somebody, or how do they access do you think, oh, I have just the perfect song for you, or how do you match make?
I just I created a Dropbox folder and I put all the songs out there, and I had just like demo versions of them, or I sometimes just did a quick demo version of it and put it out there along with the lyrics. And I just said, hey, go take a listen. If anything catches your ear, just let me know and grab it, reserve it for you. Ben Miller is doing one along with Mark Larson. So it's like the rest of the Loonies are doing a song for it. So we all kind of just are in one big band, basically. Half the people I know are just sort of in one big band.
Yeah.
We do under different names, release stuff depending on who wrote the song or whatever. But yeah. So Ben and Mark are doing a song, and
everyone's probably used to sharing really crappily recorded versions of things on your phone or whatever. You learn, at first you're so nervous about people hearing anything that at least when I first started writing. And then Chris actually he didn't even know I wrote songs, and I left for college or something, and he found an old tape with some love songs I'd written about this heartache that I never had because I hadn't even dated anyone yet in my life. But I was like, my heart's broken. And he found it, and then so we started working on some writing together. And then when he actually moved out, he was at UND in college and on Christmas actually we got together and wrote a song that we really liked, and he decided to move out and dropped out of school and came out, and never looking back. Right?
I don't regret it at all, even though I would have been making a lot more money now if I had stayed in college.
Now I want your mom on how did that go down?
She didn't care. She knows I can take care of myself.
Well, and when you know what you want to do, it's funny. My brother went to UMD, came home one year for a bit, and then decided he was going to go to the CIA, the Culinary Institute of America. And it was one of those things where we're like, well, heck, you know what you want to do?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
There must be something about that UMD.
Well, I was at UND, actually. I was in North Dakota.
UND.
I was the other side, yep.
Oh, sorry. I misunderstood that totally. Okay.
Happens a lot.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
NPR, yeah.
Yep.
So you have a musical family. I mean, it sounds like everybody. Does everybody sing? Most people?
Yeah, we're not necessarily a hardcore musical family. Our uncle, my dad's brother, was a longtime musician, played in a ton of Minneapolis bands. He kind of sort of always ended up being in the band right before it got big, or right before somebody got big, or right after they got big. And so he was never really made it big himself, but like his daughter is the one that did the song, and other cousins that sing or play a little bit of instruments. And my dad always played guitar to us when we were kids. Like,
he wasn't really a writer.
He just kind of liked to play songs on his guitar and sing them to us.
He wrote some songs.
He did write a few, but yep. So
yeah, he just liked to. He played music for us when we were little, like in the bathroom before bedtime. It was like go in the bathroom, play like just silly songs with us when we were little. So he taught me, at least. He taught me just basic chords, and
that's all he taught me too. That's all he really did. He just strummed his guitar. So, but he, and then as soon as I showed any interest, my grandma, who I don't know, she did play a little bit, but she was always a big music person.
She's the Two Small Pajamas.
Yeah, that's actually the song.
I was just going to say, this
all
seems
time
like
back
an
together here. This is my grandma.
She's the one.
She bought us all our first guitars, and as soon as she found out someone would be interested in, she would buy him a guitar. So
it's way better than Two Small Pajamas, but now you have to explain to people who are listening what we're talking about.
Yeah. Yep. She did buy lots of Two Small Pajamas, but she also did buy me a guitar.
Nice. Nice. And you just in the last week or so just released a song about the Two Small Pajamas, Granny's Two Small Pajamas, Grandma's Two Small Pajamas.
Yep. Yeah. Because what I wanted to do is my niece and nephew, my other sister's kids, I always wanted to get them to sing on a song with me. And I was like, I should write a Christmas song. And I actually started it a couple of years ago, and I was like, hadn't really finished it, and it was never really, I was always busy off touring or, playing so many shows. I was like, I got a bunch of time now. I don't have to be anywhere. So I just quarantined for a while and then came up here, and I've been up here for almost a month. Actually, I've probably been up here a month now. And so, we've all been quarantined in northern Minnesota where, there is a lot of coronavirus up here, but we also live like way in the middle of nowhere, even for here. And she lives even further in the middle of nowhere. So we're like, I think we can be safe enough, and we got him to come over and sing the song and record it. And so it's a fun little project.
Get them involved, to get them like the older one just got a trumpet, and she wanted to start playing it in the back seat after they got it. And my sister's like, she wanted to play her trumpet while I was driving here, and I told her no. Like, Gary, don't discourage her.
Yep.
What's wrong with that?
You just wait until your little one wants to play the trumpet while you're.
Well, his dad's a drummer, and he wants him to be a drummer, so I'm already preparing myself for how that's gonna be.
For some earplugs.
Yep.
That's funny. So they are interested in it. How old are they now?
9 and 11.
Oh, so that's a good.
Yep. They're getting a little bit almost too old. So I had to get this done before it was too late. So.
Well, and now it can be sort of a ritual. You'll get away with doing it again.
Yep. That's the plan.
It is.
They did really good.
They did, actually.
When I started singing it, I went last for vocals. And when I started singing it, I'm like, I am proud of them. It's just hard for me to get this melody right.
I didn't exactly go with a safe, simple melody. I kind of did an old rag guitar, old guitar rag melody, which is like weird chord changes. It doesn't stay with any one key particular. So that was after I did it. I was like, oh, maybe it wasn't the smartest decision to have kids trying to sing along
They
to
did
old
better than
ragtime
me.
guitar. But they did great.
Well, it's fun. It has that almost kind of a Bob Wills, very old, feel to it. Which I think that's perfect.
Yeah, I thought I
But you always like the old Christmas songs better than the new ones anyway, so it's good if it sounds old.
Yep.
Well, it's got to be something that a 9 and 11-year-old can kind of grab onto. They don't want.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna do like some, I don't know, minor key, really sad, slow, moody Christmas song with them. I'm like, we need to be able to sing upbeat and just sing it loud. Sing it loud for all, I don't know, whatever he says in Elf. They love the movie Elf, so I'm like, just sing it sing it like Buddy would. Just sing it out.
It's perfect. It's yeah. So that's.
I can't remember the line either. I never can. But.
Now you need to put a Holmes Christmas card out and have everybody on it in the pajamas, and then you open it up and it plays your song.
There we go. That's a good idea. We have to try.
We were told we aren't getting pajamas this year,
Yeah.
though. It's normally a thing where we all get the pajamas too on Thanksgiving, and then we take a picture for the Christmas card. But we got a song instead of
Yeah, we got a
pajamas.
song this year instead. Not really
Okay.
missing it.
Well-
I still wear my, now that I don't
We all
ever wear,
still wear the pajamas.
now that I don't ever wear real pants anymore, I sometimes wear the pajama pants. on.
Yeah, but you'd think this
I
year
know.
everyone would get pajamas.
Yep.
I was gonna say, technically those are our outfits, not pajamas.
exactly.
anymore,
I
right?
was wondering the other day how many people wear like a tie and then like sweatpants or pajama pants.
Oh,
Everyone's only seen from like here,
I think they're. My sister.
like me right now.
Yeah. Yeah. My sister called. She said she was coming back from the dry cleaners, and I said, "What on earth do you have at the dry cleaners?" Her
Yeah,
husband has to wear a shirt
yep.
and then shorts or sweatpants for the rest.
That's what I was saying. But it's like
He
people
says
now
if
have
there's
to
a
put their
fire,
shirts
first
in.
thing is
Yeah.
knock over the computer.
I had to go
Right.
to town the other day, and I put some jeans on, and Jamie's like, "Boy, that looked really weird." I'm like,
Yes.
that you had jeans on. I'm like, yeah, it actually kind of felt weird.
I'm
too.
like, where are you going?
Clearly you're going somewhere. You have jeans on. Yeah.
I'm like, this looks weird. I'm not used to it.
Feel so dressed up now when you put jeans on.
Yep. Feel so confined. And it's like, oh, it feels so stiff. Like I'm, I don't know. I feel like the way you used to feel when you like go to a wedding or something and you have to get all dressed up. Now you feel that way when you put jeans on.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm fancy today.
Like, do my jeans still fit me?
I was
That
I was
too.
gonna
That
say,
too,
glad to
Yeah.
hear someone else say they feel a little tight.
Yeah, I don't even bother trying to put mine on yet. Nope, thanks.
Yeah.
No need, no need. That's so now, is this the first time you've been able to record a song with people in the same room for a while?
Yeah, it is. I mean, everything else has been remote, and everything in this song was remote except for the vocals. So yeah, yep. Just sent it off to friends that Mark played the drums. Mark
Okay.
always plays the drums for me, except
Yep.
Fat and Frog stuff. We have a different guy who's playing the drums, but
That's weird because he plays for everything.
which
but
is
the
weird
Fat and
because
Frogs, 'cause
Mark
he
was
in the Fat and
founding
Frogs.
member of the Fat and Frogs. But, yeah, and then Dan Tans, who I've been writing songs with, he got a pedal steel guitar recently, and he's like really excited about it. I'm like, Dan, I want you to try and put some pedal steel on this song. He's like, that's a lot of chord changes for my skill level, and then he did a great job. It was fantastic. So, and then my friend Elizabeth played some upright bass, and then and put it all together. And
Yeah, I
that was
like
really
the
fun.
guitar.
Do you think you'll create music in 2021 in the same way? If we moving forward.
Definitely, probably still be a lot of studio stuff for but for different styles of songs. Like there's certain kinds of songs where you just really want to be in the same room together because you're gonna play off the feel of everyone and things like that. That'll always be studio stuff when possible. But there's plenty of stuff that if I just want to do like a song where I can, don't necessarily need that sort of feel and that sort of improvised element to it. We go in the studio, we're never just looking at a sheet and going exactly how it goes. We're going to play the song, and what comes of it is the sort of the form and the feel of what comes of it. But for stuff that doesn't really need that sort of type of thing, still do probably this way. Everyone's so set up now with home studios that they can record at home that you can save a lot of money by not having to go into a studio every time you want to record something. So yeah.
Plus, it's not rushed. It's not
you can take your time.
stressful, which is nice because when you have only so much studio time, it's like that creates a different feel of the song too because you only have so much time. And like when we did one of our albums with Sick of Sarah, we went to Texas and did it at Sonic Ranch, and we were there for 10 days, and we had to have our 10 songs done and mixed and all that by the time we left, and a lot of them weren't done at all. So then you go back later and you're like, man, I wish we would have had time to work more on this. Get kind of stressful towards the end of it when you're like, okay, today we have to have everything done, lock ourselves in there.
Yep. It's also nice that you can just be like, I was going to do this today. I don't really feel like it today. I'll just do it tomorrow.
It's a lot harder to get into a songwriting when you're not feeling it. It's like it has to be a time when you feel like doing it, or it's really hard to accomplish anything.
No, there's no, we already booked the studio time, so I guess we just have to be ready and go in to do it. And it's like, no, I'm just not really feeling it today. I'm going to, I'll try tomorrow. Or
Which
something.
I probably should book studio time, saying that.
I mean, that is a nice thing about having studio time is it sort of forces you to keep moving forward, but there's the plus side of that too.
You're still writing, Jamie, too?
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys ever write together?
We haven't.
Not lately. We haven't really. I mean, I think we probably will end up. She hasn't been feeling that great lately, so we haven't really been doing any stuff. But the goal is to get a bunch of stuff tracked and have some friends help us to fill it out.
There's a lot of old stuff that we played in our band, but we never recorded with our band Hazel Strange that we were together in, which Mark was also in, and
it's like
James, who Chris still plays and tons of stuff with. So it's hard. Yeah, the Minneapolis music scene is like everyone's played in a band with somebody else, and
I was gonna say, all related somehow.
Yeah.
What was the name of that band that you guys were all in?
Hazel Strange.
Hazel Strange. Okay, sorry, I didn't catch the name when you said it.
Many years ago.
Long time ago, yeah.
I like to hear that. Yeah. So when Jamie, you're feeling better, your quarantine time with Chris, a goal as maybe writing a bit together then too?
Finishing.
Probably like finishing, like
Sorry.
helping her finish some
Yeah.
ideas that she already has that are unfinished.
Yeah.
More so than necessarily starting new stuff, although we maybe will, I don't know. But yeah,
I'm
or
gonna
just
try to start finishing some stuff as opposed to, because I always want to start writing new stuff. I never want to finish anything. That's my problem.
that used to be my role, was to take the ideas that Jamie had and like actually make them into songs.
Yeah,
So
make me do something.
back when we used to write songs together all the time, it was mainly Jamie writing the words and like starting the melody, and then me saying, okay, now let's make this into a song. And then what can we do with that?
Might have to work a little trumpet into some.
Yeah, I
of your
know. We gotta get some trumpet in
Yeah.
there. Some backing,
Have it-
some backing vocals.
She was mad because she came here then with, they were coming here with the trumpet, and then of course she couldn't right away get it, and then her little brother took it and he's like do, 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 just playing away. So she was crying because he could do it better than her.
Oh. I am
But
familiar.
she got it. She got it. She did really good.
That's good. Well, it's nice to have an opportunity to give attention to all the music, and it's
Mhm.
you kind of need to set some false studio times to kind of get yourself to do that. I mean, it's
Yeah.
because there's got to be a difference when you're, as I write for a living, and mostly I can write, not songs, but I can write when I want to, what I want to. And then sometimes you have to write grant applications, and it's never my best writing, because it has to be done midnight tomorrow. And it doesn't, I always, and I would think that there would be a difference in the, and not even necessarily in the quality in terms of good or bad, but you probably, at a certain point, you probably start to play faster, just to, get it done. So you have to think of a way to kind of manufacture those deadlines.
Yeah, you do a little bit after you like set goals of like, I want to have a song out by a certain time, or it's just so you can kind of keep yourself motivated to actually finish the song, because that is definitely one of the hardest things about songwriting, is like, oh, I have this great idea, and then you write it and it's like a minute long, and you're like, oh, now I have to try and make a finished song out of this.
Nothing fits with it, or better yet, you try it 6 different ways and you like 4 of the ways, and so you don't know which idea gets to have the good part.
Or sometimes my problem is actually that I write too many verses. I tend to do that.
Exactly.
I write songs and they're like 7 minutes long and just straight verses, and I'm like, no, now I got to cut out half the verses. I'm like, how do I do that?
Well, you could release all your 7 minutes.
Well, now I could do that now.
You've got the time to do it, and we've got the time to listen.
Yep, I guess now is the time to do it. Usually I try to cut them down a little bit, not have them be quite so long. But
I think people listen to music differently now.
yeah, probably. Bob Dylan released his song was 17 minutes long?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's,
I haven't heard it.
He's also Bob Dylan, so he can probably get away with that.
He can do whatever he wants. There's that, but
Yep.
That's, well, what an amazing project. What an amazing thing to do during this time.
It's been really cool, and everyone's doing an awesome job with everything I've heard, and everyone's excited about it, so it's really fun.
And it's funny because I really kind of love the idea of having the library of songs out there that people can access to see if they want to tap into. That's an idea that can be so much bigger for a lot of people, for a lot of songwriters to kind of be able to put it up. I mean, a huge trust issue there.
Yep.
In opening that up.
But I have thought about that. I had thought about that in the past. I'm like, what if we actually just kind of sort of had people, especially the one thing I did kind of think is there's a lot of people that have written really good songs and released them, and they're just a local musician and no one ever really hears about them, but this is a great song out there that no one's ever really done anything with beyond the initial person that wrote it. Like, what if we could sort of create a catalog of the songs that are really good that you could maybe take and make a cover of and make this song happen again, and then not just disappear into the void of forgotten songs. And so
a lot of big songs aren't the original song.
Yep. So, I mean, that's an idea I've had in the past. I just don't know if it would ever come.
You
of
don't
it.
even know really that it's somebody else that recorded it a long time ago.
Well, that's, I think the obvious for folks who are from Minnesota and for one of us who's spent a lot of time living in Ireland, of course, is nothing compares to you.
Mhm. Yep.
It'd be funny to think of Prince singing that song.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and obviously, you can be an amazing musician and that song's just not for you,
This is correct.
Yeah.
even if you wrote it.
Yep.
Right.
Mhm.
Well, maybe this will open a door to being able to do some of that. I mean, there's got to be my library background here. There's got to be a way to copyright it when you upload. You know what I mean? Like, there's got to be a way to
Yep.
track something, to put a watermark of some sort. If you
It's kind of the
if
technical.
you care. I mean, it's
Yeah. I was just
depending
kinda
on
curious.
who and how you let access.
If it's already been recorded, it's kind of covered legally.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
But if it
that's right.
hasn't, if it's just like a song idea, then I mean, you can, as soon as you register it, it's basically technically copyrighted, but you don't really have a lot of legal protection.
Right.
But yeah, I kind of did think about the details of that, and I haven't really gone any further than that. One thing is, like, Minneapolis isn't really a very cover enthusiastic town. Like, you read about the old scenes like Nashville scene, or like where the San Francisco scene, where somebody would write a song and they'd record it, and then somebody else would be like, hey, I like that song, and they'd record it, and like everyone would just be like, half their songs were songs that their friends had written or something like that. And it doesn't really happen that much in Minneapolis. So I don't know. Maybe have to be a change of sort of a change of
Well,
attitude towards
Nashville is very much so
songwriter town.
artists going to
Songwriter events, yeah.
help, right? Like when I lived in Nashville actually for like 8 months. And we went there and our band worked with a couple of different writers. It didn't really work for us just because we were used to writing everything ourselves. So I didn't really enjoy it, but it's just like, that's kind of their practice there, is doing people sell songs, and people
You just get used to
just have people come to their house and work on songs with them. That's what a lot of people are doing there.
doing covers of non-famous songs is more normalized in other scenes than it is here.
Yeah.
Well, that just needs kind of a culture change
Mhm.
in terms of, I mean, all the way around. Because Jamie, as you said, if that's not the way that you were doing it and you weren't comfortable with it, if you'd been there 2 years, you might have got, or it may have just been the people that you were working with at that time. But I think that would be, I mean, there's so much talent in Minnesota, and there just really is so much talent, and to get that crossbreeding would be amazing. I mean, I just think and if nothing else, 2020 is a time to do things entirely differently.
Yeah.
Well, for me in that situation, this would work, because the thing that I had trouble with is when I'm writing, I like to be able to think, and I need my space. And with a writer, they were just like, all right, how about this? Da, 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 talking the whole time. And it was just like, I did sometimes have to step out because my head felt just like overwhelmed by it. I like to be able to digest it in my own way. And if it were a recording, that's something that you can do. You didn't listen to it by yourself. But yeah, that was the reason that I didn't like that. It was too much for me.
Okay, I'm kind of the same way. I could be all collaborative with things for a minute, then you're like, okay, can I just talk to you tomorrow?
Yeah,
just
exactly.
Especially if I'm working on anything remotely creative, because you're like, I am trying to finish this thought and you keep talking.
Right.
Just
Hold up. Yeah, exactly.
3 hours. Give me 3 hours. I'll call you. That's yeah.
Let me get back to you. Yeah, exactly.
Well, and I wonder if that's a Minnesotan thing, or are people, I mean, obviously everybody's different, but I wonder if I think Minnesotans aren't as good about saying, I don't like that, do it differently. I think we're like, well, that's a little different.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now I've got a whole new project open this up.
Yep.
Blow it up and let a lot of, for lots of different musicians, and, make it a clearinghouse of sorts.
Yep.
That would be fantastic just to start with, because I just think this is such a silver lining to be able to, as I said, Jamie, to go through all of the material and the partial material in here, because there are so many people like the two of you who have good ideas, you know, have half-written songs that just need this much love from somebody on the outside.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mhm.
all right.
Now we got a bunch of work to do.
I was gonna say, there you go.
We just
You can
sign
do it by the
ourselves
end of
up
the year.
for it. It's recorded too.
Yep, there we go. More
This
projects.
was our booking studio time. Now we have it out into the
Yeah.
world that
Yeah.
we have stuff to do.
Out loud, yeah.
There you go.
We
There
have
you
said
go.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, now I'm thinking about it. I just think that's well, and
Now you need 3 hours.
oh, I need to oh, just hold on a sec. I just think it's amazing how these projects, when we talk to people with the quarantine dream too, when you get an idea, and I just think it becomes a prototype of how to work with people differently and how to do things differently. And this too is a project that sounds like it's just getting bigger than itself, you know, in the best of ways. You know, it just is generating and regenerating and regenerating, and that and will have an impact. So that's
Yeah.
amazing. Amazing.
When you hear, or I don't know, since I don't know how many songs you've heard already from it, but when you hear what somebody has done with it, are you like, oh shoot, I wanted it to go this way in your head? Or do yeah, I guess probably not, because you
Because
let
I already feel like I tried so hard and couldn't think of anything. So I'm always like impressed by what someone else could put to it, because I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I like that. And I, had absolutely no idea where to go because I'd exhausted. all the
So
options.
this might trigger some different way for that you think to write when you guys collab
Mm-hmm.
during your time too, or whatever, how you see whoever takes it and goes with it. That's cool. I'm impressed, because I would be like, oh shoot, I heard it this way or whatever. Granted, I
Yeah.
don't write songs, but when you have a vision for something, but I like that you kind of leave it open
Mhm.
ended or unfinished for whoever.
Yeah.
I started doing some songwriting with a few different people this year, where I had this idea, and it was that I'm just going to write a section of a song. So it's usually like 30 seconds. And then I just send it to the next person, and they can do whatever they want. They just do whatever they want. They send it back, and then it's my turn again. And that
Ooh.
takes a lot of new level of trust when you're trying to write songs and you're like, all right, I got this idea. I think it's a good idea. And I send it off, and now I've given up complete control over it. I have no control of what happens next. And I have to just trust that that person is going to send me back something that I can deal with. And but it's good. It's good for me to,
Yeah.
learn to
So
kind of.
you would start it, send it to somebody, then get it back and work on it again. So it was kind of a back and forth.
Pass it back and forth. And there's a little freedom. Like we're not super militant about it. Like, it's not like, all right, what you did is final version and what I did is final version. And we can still discuss it, but mainly it just basically, I take what he did and then we incorporated what I did, and then we just keep building it. And that, just, you trust that the other person is not going to just sabotage your idea. And if they do, it's too bad.
Yeah. I'd be like, delete.
I know it takes a little getting used to the sort of that, level of trust and level of giving up the full autonomous control that I always want to have. Like, oh, this is got to be this way. This is my song and it's going to be this way.
Yeah.
You get a different
that's
perspective too.
hard.
Learn to
I
do
was
things
gonna-
differently yourself, because you're like, hear what somebody else would do with this idea that was, going a different direction than your mind tells you to go. So
Yeah.
kind of learn a lot from it by doing that. It make your own songwriting way better. So
Mhm.
at least that's the hope.
Mhm.
I think so. I think that it's in my time I've seen a lot of experimental and improv on stage, and I'm always this is just the longer version of that. And
Yeah,
I've
it's
always
nice.
thought the trust level to be there for something like that, because it's and I always ask people, you really didn't know what he was going to play when you started? You really didn't. Nope. But yeah, it's good. It's a good lesson for life.
Yep.
No, you think it's
Yeah.
gonna go this way.
We were actually
giving up control.
me and the other Loonies guys were looking into we actually looked into improv classes we were going to take before the pandemic hit. So we were probably going to take an improv class this summer, and then everything got canceled, of course. But so yeah,
Is James in this?
James was even going to do this.
Oh my!
We did not think James would do this. You
Can I
don't probably don't
go?
really
Is it
know James at
something-
all,
is it
but
performance.
he's the least likely person I know in my mind that would
But
do improv.
But he always surprises you with things that he will do. Then
he agreed to do it. So now we just got to wait out this pandemic and then
Man,
take some improv
I
classes.
really hope you do.
I was gonna say I'm pretty shy too in real life. I don't like to talk, don't want the focus. And I took a Zoom improv class, and it was actually perfect because it was a way for me to get in there but not have physical people like staring at me. So I highly recommend it. Or for James.
Well, we're gonna make him do the real thing. He said he would do it,
Yeah,
so we're
he
gonna
will.
force him to do
I'm
it
sure
now.
he will, but
Can't back out now. Commitment's been written
I
down
just
in
want to
stone.
see
Yeah.
it when it happens.
We chiseled that in a stone tablet.
Well, it'll be
James
fun to
is
see
like-
the impact of it because Heather, you like those a lot. I remember.
Yeah. Yep. I had sweaty armpits, let me tell you, but it was fun just because it makes you think on your feet and just get out of your own way, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's
I'm-
important skills for
I can't
musicians,
wait
though.
What?
That's important skills for a musician as a songwriter and
I
performer.
like
So
that. Get out of your own way.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
you got to kind of learn to let go a little more and not, kind of open up your mind a little bit and be open to suggestion and open to be spontaneous and all that stuff in performing and songwriting. So it's
Yeah.
be good for that, all that stuff. At least that's the hope.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about how that matches in with working with different music writers, and just say that right. You've got a whole bunch of movements here for Minneapolis or for Minnesota musicians. Start the improv, start
Yep.
the clearinghouse of music to tap into, and now's the perfect time
Mm-hmm.
while you're doing your 48 other things.
Well, we got a lot of time right now, so we can handle doing a few things at once now.
It is. It seems like that we have a lot of time doing nothing, and yet I'm always busy. It's good.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good. Well, for folks who are listening, tell people how they can find out, how they can find you, how they can find out how this is going, if they want to participate, and when it's available for listening. And
The Jamie project is we're just a couple songs, and it's Jamie Strange because she borrowed the second half of her old band name,
the old Hazel name.
so,
Yeah.
and she did actually put one song out, her first solo song on there too. But jamiestrange.bandcamp.com is where the songs for the project are going, and her stuff that her solo song, not really solo, but under her name song that she put out recently. And then chrisholmmusic.com is all my stuff is kind of going there. It's kind of the central location for all my stuff, among many other places.
They want to be
Yeah.
involved in anything.
They can just shoot me an email. There's a contact on the website, or chris@chrisholmmusic.com or whatever.
All the regulars in your.
Yeah.
You are active on social media, I know, because I see it.
I'm easy to find on social media. People can just add me on.
Yeah.
Add me as a friend. I'll add them back.
It's good. I was trying to think, you said something funny on, I'm sure it was Twitter yesterday, about football, and I nearly so I was making cookies with my daughter, my mom, my grandpa's watching football, and my kids and stuff. So what is this anyways, Grandpa? That's how sporty we are over here. She spent the whole time trying to figure out what football was. But, all the sports, so that's
Yeah. I split off my Twitter accounts into two so I could have one that was music focused, because I just like to rant about sports on my other one. I'm like, the music people don't want to hear about this. Get your own music one and get the sports takes off your music Twitter account.
Well,
I know, like
I enjoy watching them a little bit. Because then I know if people have won or lost, and I can talk to my mom because she is always forever shamed that I don't know how the Vikings did yesterday unless I.
Dave Simonette talks a lot of sports on his Dead Man Winter Twitter account.
Yeah.
He can get away with it, but I felt like I was probably just annoying people. I'm not big enough yet to be able to annoy people, and I'll still kind of want to be there.
So we're gonna be able to talk sports on Twitter and doing a 17-minute song. Those are the two big Minnesota musician things we're working
There
on.
we go. Yep.
You made
And
it
then-
when you do that, right?
Yeah. So that's well, and until then, we got Jamie's songs at jamiestrange.bandcamp.com and Chris Holm music everywhere, and I'll include those in the notes too. But thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for talking to us, and I'm looking forward to hearing the whole album this spring.
So I can't wait to hear.
Yeah, I love when people do things in a new way. I think it's going to be super creative. So that's
At least 10 songs I haven't heard yet that are supposed to be coming in anytime, and then relatively. Actually, I've heard a couple of the other ones, but at least 10 that I haven't heard anything from yet that are supposed to
To
come
get
in.
a bunch of musicians to record not even their own stuff, but your stuff. That's impressive.
It is definitely wrangling cats.
yep.
Herding cats, wrangling cats.
How many?
Or worse. Maybe harder than that. I don't know.
Yeah.
How many songs are there? How many songs, Chris, did you put out there?
Well, some of them are not even songs I put out there. Some of them are ones that her ex-bandmates knew about that I didn't know about, or my friend Russ knew about that I didn't know about. And so I think there's at least 15 of them out there that are in progress or done. It's probably gonna be around 20 songs or so, I'm guessing, by the time it's all said and done.
Awesome. Awesome. It'll be fun to see how they're like and how they're different.
Yeah, definitely.
Love that.
Play the original and then
The original phone recording from 2003.
I might veto that idea. I don't know.
I don't know. I think there would be, Picasso did it. Je suis le cahier. He put out all of the drafts of his art to get from what looked like a woman sitting in a chair to his work, woman in chair. I think that would be fascinating.
It would be interesting. Yeah.
You can put it a link away, hide it a little bit if you want, but I think having it there for people who want it would be amazing.
Cool.
It would be interesting for sure. I know I would want to see that looking on a project. I think it would be interesting to see
what they had to work with.
Yeah.
I gotta shut up. What am I doing here?
I know I'm keeping your list for you
what
guys.
am I doing here?
Here's Jamie's original recording this song from 2002.
It's like me in the bathroom, like with my phone.
Yeah.
Acoustics are good there.
No.
All right. We are gonna, before we have more assignments for you guys, we're say thank you, and we look forward to hearing more.